Hello there, Applied English, and welcome to the spring semester at Milwaukee Lutheran High School. I hope you had an awesome winter break. I know mine was much needed, and I'm hoping that this semester is a good reset for us as teachers and also for you guys as students, with kind of a clean slate in the gradebook and hopefully a more favorable schedule for you as well. I want to start off today's lesson with a little devotional, then we'll look at the lesson itself. This week in general is largely just to get us back into the swing of things, back into our routines, back into the types of technology that we'll need to use to be successful this semester, especially for those of you who are going to be tackling the entire semester virtually, because they made some changes with how the course will work because of the shift to virtual. So I just want to start with this little devotional. This is actually part of our classroom theme in my classroom, Revelation 21:5. And he who was seated on the throne, that is God, said, "Behold, I am making all things new." Happy New Year. Also, he said, write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true. Just a little devotional thought based on all three of the lines, or each line in this verse right here. First of all, he who is seated on the throne. A reminder for all of us today and this year in general that God is on the throne. COVID-19 is not on the throne. Democrats are not on the throne. Republicans are not on the throne. It's not about this world that we're living in necessarily. We're reminded that God's in control of it all. God's using our rough times, our valleys, as the song calls it, and our good times, our hills, as the song calls it, for our good. And sometimes sometimes it's easy to lose track of that when we face a tough year like 2020 was. My prayer is that 2021 is a lot easier of a year for us to manage, especially from a school perspective. We're reminded that God is God through it all. Behold, I am making all things new. Now, within the context of Revelation 21, the making all things new is actually the end of days. He's making heaven anew, recreating earth anew. It's new heaven and new earth, where there's no more crying, no more tears, no more pain, for the old matter of things has passed away. For me, that's where I place my hope when I find life really difficult, is just knowing that my God, the God that I worship, will one day make everything new. That yes, there are temporary fixes to temporary problems, but there's also an eternal fix to everything, which is trusting in Him and awaiting His eternal kingdom. And then the last little bit, I just like this last little line right here because it connects to English so well. Also, he said, write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true. Little reminder for us that writing is really all the English skills, but writing specifically this week is so valuable for us in coming to a better understanding of who God is, as well as developing those skills that we'll need to have to be successful in the future. We'll be doing quite a bit of writing this week and next week, just as we get back into the swing of English language arts. So my big prayer for you this semester is that you too can renew your hope in the one who sits on the throne this semester. We can renew our hope in that eternal future, that one day God is going to make everything new, where there's no more diseases or injuries or death anymore, but also that we can renew our hope in a God who is very present with us right now and who gives us the strength to face these things with grace and with confidence. All right, looking at today's lesson agenda. So I'll give you a little tour of our lesson folder in just a moment here. But here's our agenda for today. Today is an all 8 days, so you've got all 8 of your classes. So I'm keeping it short with our video and our assignment today. 2 objectives. One is to set goals for spring semester success. I'm sure you have an idea on something you want to accomplish this semester based on how you did last semester. I'll give you a chance to voice that goal today. The other thing is being able to communicate with me through Microsoft Teams. I really want to step up my Microsoft Teams game this semester, as I found it so helpful for communication last semester. And for those of you who are full virtual, you will need to log in to Teams for me every lesson. So I want to make sure we can get that going today too. Really, that's what this week is designed for. I'm not going to dive really deep into content with you guys. I want to make sure we can really get those routines and all the necessary technology down pat first before we get into content next week. You're watching our devotional video right now. The other thing today is completing our day 1 check-in assignment. It's a really tiny assignment just to get us started this semester, but also so that we can have a little bit of a connection to start this semester as well. In our next lesson, we will look at our syllabus and calendar for this semester, and I'll get you guys writing the little discussion assignment with that as well. So stay tuned in our next lesson, which is actually tomorrow for everyone. because I now do have all of my applied English classes on the same day. So whether you're virtual or in person, doesn't matter. I have all of you on odd days. That does mean that there's a day in between every lesson that we do, except Mondays and Tuesdays. Let's take a look at that assignment here. So if you look at our lesson folder here, notice mine says unpublished. I haven't opened these up for you yet as I make my video. But you'll notice that I am not putting that little check mark by lesson agendas. Because we go through them in our lesson videos anyway, it doesn't matter to me much whether you click into the agenda or not, but that is there for you to read if you get lost or if you just want to open that up before watching lesson videos. Anything that says must view or must complete or must make a submission, something like that, anything that has that check mark by it is something that I expect you to do. Schoology does track that progress for me. So I just want you to know that I can I can see what you've done and what you haven't done. I should have done that more last semester, but this semester I really want to stay on top of that so I can make sure you're learning as much as possible. Today's assignment is day 1 check-in. Let's look at that. For this assignment, please log into Microsoft Teams. I'll demonstrate that in a moment. And start a chat or video chat with me. Both chatting and video chatting are probably my favorite ways to communicate with you. I found that Teams chatting is probably the most comfortable way for us to communicate, both formally and informally. Video chatting is the absolute best way that we can work together one-on-one if you get stuck or if you need help with something. You can use either for the sake of this assignment. Doesn't matter much to me. In our chat, I just want you to share one goal that you have for our course this semester. This could be an academic goal. So let's say maybe you earned a C last semester and you want to raise that by a letter grade or more this semester. You might say, "Hi, Mr. Hantek, my name is Jimmy Johnson, and my goal for this semester is to finish the semester with at least a B overall in the class," or something like that. I would like complete sentences if you're going to write this in the chat bar. Obviously, in video chatting, we're going to be talking face-to-face anyway. Another possible academic goal could be to work on a specific skill. Maybe you found that everything last semester was pretty easy for you until we got to essay writing. You might say, "Hey, Mr. Hantek, my goal for this semester is to write a better essay than I did last semester." Or maybe you're afraid of public speaking, and your goal for this semester is to become confident in front of an audience. This semester is pretty heavy on speech skills anyway. Whatever it might be. Could be a grade skill, could be a skill, or it could be a grade goal, could be a skill goal. Those are different ways to think of it academically. Personal goals and spiritual goals are also fair game. So maybe you don't necessarily want to set an academic goal. Maybe you're really comfortable with how you did last semester academically, and you'd rather set a goal that has more to do with responsibility or more to do with your emotions or more to do with your spiritual life. That's fine as well. You can get creative with the goal that you set. Maybe last semester you struggled with organization, right? So maybe your goal for this semester is simply to reach out to me for help at least once per week, right? Outside of class. That could be a goal that we can achieve as well. Maybe you have a spiritual goal that has more to do with your faith. Maybe your goal is to read through the Gospels this semester. So you might say, "Hey, Mr. Hantak, my goal for this semester is actually to read through the entire book of Matthew," or something like that. Those are also fair game. You can be creative with the goal that you set. I imagine a lot of you will want to set academic goals just based on the sort of improvement you want to go for, but personal and spiritual goals are fair game too. If you are having trouble thinking of a goal for yourself, I'm more than happy to give some suggestions. So I would say simply start our chat so we can get the ball rolling on that. You might say, "Hey, I'm having trouble coming up with a goal for this semester." I can maybe make some suggestions based on what I saw in your work last semester. If you need a refresher on accessing Microsoft Teams, I did include our video link that'll take you to my YouTube channel on my instruction video on using Teams, but I'll demonstrate how to log in at least anyway right now. I want to note that this assignment will be graded out of 5 points. It's mostly completion, but I am looking for overall spelling and grammar if you're typing as well. So please make sure that you are paying close attention to that as you write. Obviously, if you call me, if you video chat with me, I'm not necessarily going to grade overall spelling and grammar in what we say to one another. In that case, it's just a completion grade. Let's take a look at Teams real quick. So a reminder for you, easiest way to access Teams, Milwaukee Lutheran's webpage right here. We go current families. And then O365, we used this quite a bit last semester. It's going to make me log in. All right, good afternoon, and here we are. So it takes me to my Office 365. Tabs-wise, once again, this is how you access Word, Excel, PowerPoint, your email, OneDrive is your file storage. The one that we want is Teams. It's the purple icon with a T on it. All right, and here we are in Teams. I'll let you explore more of the nitty-gritty of Teams on your own. I'll just kind of cut right to the chase for the sake of this assignment. To find me, if you've never chatted with me before, easiest thing to do is type in last names in the search bar, type in Handtack, and I'll show up. I actually can't look up myself, so I'll do it with Mrs. Tan. There we go. And we have a big conversation because we both teach applied English, so we do a lot of work together here. If I want to continue chatting with Mrs. Tan, I'm just going to just type in my message here. Hello, Mrs. Tan. My goal for this semester is blah 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 blah. Right? Hit the little paper airplane to send, and that's an example there. If I wanted a video chat instead, or if you want a video chat with me instead of getting into the chat bar, maybe you just kind of want that face-to-face interaction, just hit this little camera button for video call, and that will open up a video call with me. I'm going to try to be as available as possible all throughout Wednesday to take video calls. If I'm not immediately available for a video call, I would say start a chat with me anyway. We can always video call later. It's very possible if you call me and I'm not available, I'm already in a call with someone else. So just keep that in mind if it doesn't seem like I'm immediately available in Teams. Anyways, I am excited to hear your goals today, whether you're writing them to me in the chat bar or calling me just to tell me real quickly what your goals are. I'm excited to kind of make those connections with you once again as we open up the new semester here. We'll start getting more into what this semester is going to look like in our next lesson tomorrow.